everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got NFL Week 4 first look video coming at you. We're going to dive into each positional spot and see which ones we like. Just off the bat, haven't even looked at the particular salaries, pricings, or anything like that. I really like to do this right off the bat and see who pops off the board for us. Before we get going, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below if any of these videos have helped you cash in on any DFS slate. And we also check out our guys at Occupy Fantasy. They've been absolutely killing this NFL season. The link is below. You guys can use their lineup optimizer, join their Discord, just learn all things DFS through them. And speaking of Discord, I have a free Discord. That link is below. We talk all things betting, props, DFS strategies, all things sports. So go join that with the link below. And then finally, we have our 125% sign up bonus at BetUS. All you have to do is use code DOTBETS, and 125% sign up bonus is all yours. So without further ado, let's go. Before we dive in, I want to give a shout out to the Cardinals, repping my Cardinals, going for 17 in a row. I think they're up currently 4-2 against the Brewers, so hopefully they're on their way. Let's go all the way to 20. Screw it. Let's just go to 25 or 30. I don't even know where they're going to stop, but this streak has been absolutely unbelievable. It's being called the run of 21. So shout out to the Cardinals. Absolutely love it. I wrote them off in the beginning of the year, but you know what? I got to give a shout out in the YouTube video about these guys. But to go into our quarterback breakdown. So Mahomes, number one ranked, $8,100. He has been 36, 28, and 24. And I like week 4 and on in the NFL DFS. You have a lot more data. You can kind of see what teams are doing. Then you can see who are the true value plays of the slate. You know, you got 5 games this week that is over under 50 points. So a lot of games to choose from to game stack. So we're going to have to limit our player pool like I talked about in the Twitch stream before. So it's Mahomes, Allen, Murray, Jackson, and Wilson, the top 5. Best matchups we have are Josh Allen and Wilson, according to Draftkings here. Allen had an absurd game last week with 40 points. He had finally the game that he needed to have for fantasy football owners. So that kind of alleviated any worry from them. And you can fire him back up, I would say, this week. Only thing is maybe since they're 16-point favorites, that he doesn't get to play maybe the fourth quarter or so, or maybe they go run heavy script. So we'll see. I'm probably going to be off of Allen this week as well. I was off him last week. Going to be right back to Russell Wilson this week. This is a game that sits at +3 with the Seahawks, and I favor them in this matchup. The 49ers have weak corner positions. You saw Adams exploit that on Sunday Night Football, and I can definitely see Metcalf and Lockett do the same. So this is probably a game that I'm going to stack a little bit here. I love Russell Wilson this week. Then you could also go right below him, Matt Stafford against Kyler Murray, that divisional matchup here. Probably, I'm going to set to dive in this a little bit more. I do like Stafford a little bit more than Murray just because the Rams defense has been so elite. And then, so I talked about Mahomes earlier. You got Hurts and Mahomes that you could game stack potentially. But some value plays here that are going to probably make you throw up a little bit. But Taylor Heineke. So if you've been watching any of these Washington football team games, he's actually been pretty serviceable. He's gotten 24 points and 23 points since he started after week 1. I'm not going to count that because he didn't start. But he's been serviceable, $5,900. His salary's gone up every single week, $5,600, now $5,900. And he faces a very weak Falcons. They've given up the 3rd most points to opposing quarterbacks this year. So that's a value play that I really like. Sam Darnold right ahead of him. He has been absolutely phenomenal since he got away from Adam Gase. You got 28 points, 22 points, and 20 points. Then he faces the Dallas Cowboys, who, I would say they're an anomaly on Sunday or Monday Night Football. Hurts was just bad. I don't think there was nothing with their defense. You know, Diggs has been playing really well for their defense, but I think you could shy away from him and exploit this defense. Which with Moore, Anderson, you got plenty of options for that here. And then the last one that I probably think about would be the game stack with Matt Ryan. This pains me to even say it, but because he's been so bad, but he's got so many weapons. Like he should be able to dominate games at times. So this football team's defense has been exploitable all season long. I don't see it changing, unfortunately. They're at home. He plays a lot better at home. So that's a game. It's a sneaky game stack. It sits at like 47. So like I said, there's 5 games that have over 5 or over 50 points. So maybe not a lot of people are going to be on that game, and that can shoot you up the leaderboard. Running backs. Top running backs that that give up the most points right now are Seattle. Seattle is giving up the most points, and then you have a backfield going against them that has no idea who they're going to play. So it could be Sermon, it could be Mitchell. We'll see. That is to be determined there, but you should maybe just keep an eye on that Seahawks backfield. But so the cover boy, I'm going to go. Jonathan Taylor is going to be my pick to click this week. In a favorable matchup, second most rushing yards against or fantasy points against for the running back position. Absolutely need to get him the ball a lot more. So if you drafted Jonathan Taylor, you're really, really pissed off. You might be even considering trading him. But I would keep on to him. So 17 points, 6 and 8. His attempts have gone down every single week. I want to say it's negative game script that's happened or just stupid coaching. I don't understand it. I think they feed him the ball this week. He's going to be one of my highly owned players. Hopefully not as high because he hasn't been doing so well amongst the field. The other one that I like, obviously, that I think everybody likes is Derrick Henry. He's in another favorable matchup against this Jets defense that is horrific. So he went from 10 to 50 to probably a more regular style game of 22. That's probably what you could expect. Like him as well. Who doesn't? Another guy that I think people are going to shy away from, but is a good game stack running back is Miles Sanders. 17, 6, and 8. I would say the usage in the pass game is where I see a bunch of his value. He only had 2 rushing attempts last week. They had 3 the whole entire game. I don't understand the NFL coaching. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it, but I see some positive regression for Miles Sanders here. Favorable matchup against the Chiefs, who cannot stop anybody on the run. I look to see probably 15-plus rushing attempts for him. I'm going to probably look at his prop total for that as well. Najee Harris had an absurd 19 targets in week 3. Absurd. That never happens. So I don't think he's going to get that on a weekly basis. But with Juju, I think Juju will end up playing. But you got to keep an eye on Deontay, keep an eye on Claypool as well. But of all 3 of those, or if one of them or 2 of them miss, plug Najee Harris in no matter what. I think I think his salary went up. What was it? A couple hundred. So then you could also go with Chris Carson. He doesn't have any competition, and he's been as solid as can be. 13, 15, and 16. Probably the safest floor of fantasy football right now is Chris Carson. Wide receivers. So if you've been playing KUPP every week, you've been probably cashing every week. And for me, I have been fading him every single week, which is absurd. But there's just no way you can keep this up. And I'm just not going to get burned. I'm just taking a stand where, hey, I'm going to fade him. I'm going to go Woods. I'm going to go Higbee if I'm doing any kind of stacks. Hasn't paid off for me just yet, but we'll see. Absolutely insane. 10, 11, 12 targets, 7, 9, 9. 26, 39, 30. He's like Devontae Adams of last year. So we'll see if this keeps up in a favorable matchup against the Cardinals. But a couple of guys that I am looking at are probably those Ridley, McLaurin. You got a couple of those Diami Brown. And then you have, I'll never ever pronounce his name. Where's this dang? Where's this guy at? For the game stacks. Here it is. Zacchaeus? I think it's Zacchaeus. Let me know if I mispronounced that name. But yeah, Zacchaeus for sure is a good spot for, that's just a sneaky stack, I think, this week. So that's just the first gut. Sanders, also another nice play. 26 points, little boom game there. You can pass against this Steelers defense. So if you want to go back to the well with Adams, you want to go with MVS, you can definitely do that. Like I said before, DK Metcalf and Lockett should have their field day with these young corners for Seattle or for the 49ers. So those are probably where I'm going to head at. You can also go with the Panthers, Moore and Robbie Anderson. It's a nice little duo there. Probably you could go with Browns, but I like those. I like those couple guys above. Probably Metcalf and Lockett, and then Adams and probably Green Bay guys. Tight end. So we got a Kelsey slate. So Kelsey, Kittle, Hawk, Andrews, Pitts, Thomas. So a lot good tight ends this week. The Ravens are the team that give up the most. So if you want to come down to Noah Fant down here, give up the most. So he's got the most favorable, and he's 4,300. As you can see, he had a shit week last week, 12, 13, and 3. I do think he can get to that. I mean, 26-0 is not a good game script for him at all, playing the Jets. I think this game is going to be a little bit more competitive, and I like him a lot this week. So no Fant, fire him up. You've got Cowboys give up the second most. I mean, is it? I don't know since Dan Arnold got traded, is it going to be Thomas or Ian Thomas? I don't know. I'm probably going to stay away from that tight end position. Where is that rookie from Green Bay? Here is Freiermuth. I think he's going to have sneaky good value this week, especially if one of those receivers end up missing. I think he could be a little bit higher owned, but I do like the matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Then you could go probably the higher, could always go Kelsey. Hawk absolutely shit the bed for me last week off 25, 20, and 3. You could go back to the well here. He's priced up about $600. So I'm hoping people get away from him, and then you go back to him this week. And then also, if you're game stacking, that game that I'm recommending right now in this video, you can go with Pitts for sure. It's been probably a disappointment so far with the way his ADP was, but 7, 12, and 5. So I can see him going off again. But yeah, I would probably say my favorite play is Fant right now. You could also go down here to Schultz. So Schultz didn't get the bump with the Monday night game, and he absolutely went off for 7 targets, 6 receptions on 7 targets for 2 touchdowns. Nice value play, 3,400. So there are some nice value plays. As you can see, as the season goes on, more value plays happen. That's when you pivot to the higher price players to get a little bit more leverage on the field as these guys become a little bit more valuable. So if you like this video, give me a like in the comment. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, join the free Discord below, and we talk all things sports betting. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be back on Friday-ish, to get you the top plays and stacks of the week. So we'll see you guys.